Virginia's driver manual. Just have 1 year off. Take 1 year off so you can listen. No, both. No, one off, one on. One off to listen to music and one off.
Well, I already have it.
No, let's have 1 year on, 1 year off.
It is.
No, completely off. Virginia's driver's manual. Virginia Department of Motor Vehicles. The Virginia Driver's Manual will help you learn and understand safe driving practices. Study this manual to prepare for the knowledge test, obtain a Virginia driver's license, and become a safe driver. The information contained in this manual should be used as a general guide to the motor vehicle laws, but not as a substitute for the Code of Virginia, which contains the laws that govern Virginia's drivers and vehicles. If you're learning to drive, this manual will give you information you need to study for the knowledge exam. If you already have a Virginia driver's license, review this manual for new rules on the road. Driving is a privilege, not a right. Your driver's license carries with it a great responsibility to be courteous with other drivers on the roadways and follow state and federal motoring laws. Virginia's Driver's Manual. Table of Contents. Section 1. Testing. In this section, you'll learn about two-part knowledge exam, road skills test, vision screening, and vision standards. Tests will include a vision screening and may include a two-part knowledge exam and a road skills test. A DMV representative will tell you which test you need to take. You will need to take the knowledge exam if you do not hold a valid driver's license from another U.S. state, Canada, Germany, France, or the Republic of Korea. The two-part knowledge exam is given on a computer and tests your knowledge of traffic signs, motor vehicle laws, and safe driving. Exam questions are taken from information in this manual. You must correctly answer all 10 traffic sign questions in Part 1 of the exam before you can take Part 2 of the exam. Part 2 tests your general knowledge with multiple choice questions. You must answer at least 80% of these questions correctly to pass Part 2. If you fail the exam and you are under age 18 by law, you must wait a full 15 days before you can retake the exam. For example, if you fail the exam on January 1st, the earliest you can take the exam again is January 17th. The exam may be only taken once per business day. An audio version of the exam is available, and the exam is offered in many different languages, in American Sign Language. Therefore, translators may not be used for tests in other languages. If you fail the knowledge exam 3 times, you will not be able to take it a 4th time until you complete and pass the classroom component of driver education. You may have the option of completing an 8-hour course based on the Virginia Driver's Manual and approved by DMV exclusively for satisfying the 3 times daily requirement. This course is available at a driver's training school and online. Please see the requirements below based on your age. Customers age 18 and older may complete a course based on the Virginia Driver Manual. The completion date of the driver's manual course must be after the date that you failed the knowledge exam the 3rd time. When you successfully complete the course and give DMV your certificate of completion, you can take the knowledge exam again. Customers younger than 18 may complete the course based on the Virginia Driver Manual if they have previously completed the classroom component of the driver's education. Before you can take this course, you must present your certificate of completion for the classroom component of driver's education to the driver's training school that will be conducting the driver's manual course. The completion date of the driver's manual course must be after the date that you failed the knowledge exam the 3rd time. When you successfully complete the course and give DMV your certificate of completion, you can take the knowledge exam again. Cannot get help while taking the exam. Help another person taking the exam. Try to get questions or answers before the exam. Test questions or answers before the exam. Give another person exam questions or answers. Use a cell phone during the exam. A sample knowledge exam is in Section 8 of this manual and at dmv.virginia.gov. Services for persons with disability. Customers with special needs or who require special help with applications or testing should tell a DMV staff member at any DMV location. Road skills test. You will need to take the road skills test if you do not hold a valid driver's license from another U.S. state, Canada, Germany, France, the Republic of Korea, or Taiwan. You must provide a vehicle for the road skills test. Cannot be taken in an autocycle. The vehicle must have a valid safety inspection sticker, license plates, registration cards, and decals. Working brakes, safety belts, horn, lights, turn signals, mirrors, and speedometer. To take the road skill test, the DMV examiner will require that you either present an acceptable driver's education certificate of completion, complete the behind the wheel checklist DMV form CF SMA 19 available at dmv.virginia.gov or at any DMV office to describe specific driving tasks that you may be asked to perform while taking the road skills test. A licensed driver will need to certify on the form that she has been with you while you practice the driving task and you have complied with all the requirements for learning the vehicles while operating a motor vehicle. For applicants under 18, the road skills test will be given as a part of the driver's education course taken at a public, private, or commercial driving school. If you are homeschool, refer to the homeschool and car driver's education information sheet for more information about taking the road skills test. Applicants 18 years old or older must hold the loaner's permit for 60 days prior to the first road skills test. Complete a course of driver's education at the driver's training school approved by DMV or the Department of Education. For applicants who choose to take the driver's education, the road skills test will be administered by the driver training school. For those who opt to hold a learner's permit for 60 days, the road skills test will be given by a DMV staff member. The test may be taken only once per business day. If you fail the road skills test, you must wait 2 days to take it again. If you fail the road skills test at DMV 3 times, you will not be able to take a fourth time until you complete and pass the in-vehicle part of the driver's education at a driver's training school approved by DMV or the Department of Education. The completion date for the in-vehicle part must be after the day you fail the road skills test the third time. Once you successfully complete the in-vehicle part and give DMV your certificate of completion, you can take the road skills test again. Vision screening. To screen your vision, a DMV staff member will ask you to look into a machine and read a series of letters or numbers. The vision screening is not a medical exam. The screening shows whether your vision meets the Virginia standards to safely drive. If you fail the vision screening, you may be asked to visit an eye care professional. If you need to wear glasses or contact lenses to pass the vision screening, you must wear them when you drive. Your license will display a C for this restriction. To have this restriction removed after having laser surgery to correct your vision, you must visit a DMV customer service center and pass the vision screening without wearing glasses or contact lenses or submit a vision screening report MED4. Vision standards. Driver's license unrestricted, 20/40 or better vision in one or both eyes, and 110 degrees or better. Horizontal vision in one or both eyes, or comparable measurement that shows a field of vision within this range. Driving restricted to daylight hours only. 27 or better vision in one or both eyes, and 70 degrees or better horizontal vision. If you have vision in only one eye, you must have horizontal vision of at least 30 degrees or better when looking towards your nose, and 40 degrees or better when looking towards your temple, or a comparable measurement that shows a field of vision within this range. A daylight driving only restricted license permits you to drive only during the period of time beginning in half an hour after sunrise and ending in half an hour before sunset. If you wear biopic telescopic lenses, read the DMV publication driver's licensing information for biooptic telescopic lens wearers MED 44 available at dmbvirginia.gov or contact DMV at 8040 497 7100. Section 2. Signals, signs, and pavement markings. In this section, you'll learn about traffic signals, traffic signs, pavement markings, painted curbs. Traffic signals, signs, and pavement markings are used for traffic control to provide a smooth, orderly flow of traffic. It is important to understand and obey them. It is illegal to avoid these traffic controls by cutting through a parking lot or field. Obey all signs and signals unless directed by a police officer. Always follow the driver's direction. Traffic signals. Traffic signals apply to drivers, motorcycle riders, bicyclists, moped riders, and pedestrians. Red light. At a red light, come to a complete stop at the stop line, or if there is no stop line before entering the intersection or before reaching the crosswalk. Remain stopped as long as the signal is red, unless turns are allowed. Right on red. You may turn right while the traffic signal displays a red light. Before turning, you must come to a complete stop. Look both ways and yield the right of way to pedestrians and other traffic. Be sure to check the less visible vehicles such as motorcycles, bicycles, and mopeds. You may not turn right on red if the signs are posted at the intersection that reads no turn on red or if a red arrow pointing to the right is displayed. Left turn on red. You may turn left at a red light if you are on a one-way street and turning left on another one-way street while the traffic signal displays a red light. Huh? Wait, what? You may turn left at a red light if you are on a one-way street. If you are on a one-way street and turning left onto another one-way street. Oh, that's why. If you're on a one-way street and turning left onto another one-way street, well, the traffic signal displays a red light. Before turning, you must come to a complete stop. Look both ways and yield the right of way to pedestrians and other traffic. Be sure to check for less visible vehicles such as motorcycles, bicycles, and mopeds. You may not turn left on red if the signs are posted at the intersection that read no turn on red or if a red arrow pointing to the left is displayed. Red arrow. A red arrow means that you must stop if you intend to move in the direction of the arrow. You may not proceed in the direction of the arrow as long as the red arrow is displayed, unless the signs are posted at the intersection that read right on red arrow after stop. So if it says right on red arrow after stop or left on red arrow after stop, you have to stop first and then you can go. You know that, right? Okay. Virginia law prohibits right on red and left turns at red. Right and left turns at red arrow lights. So Virginia law prohibits right and left turns at red arrow lights. Note, if you're taking traveling in another state, make sure you know its laws for right and left turns at red and red arrow lights. Flashing red light. At a flashing red light, come to a complete stop and yield to oncoming vehicles and pedestrians. You may go when the way is clear. At a railroad crossing, you must come to a complete stop, even if you don't see a train. Flashing red arrow. At a flashing red arrow comes to a complete stop, yield the right of way to vehicles coming from the other direction and pedestrians in the intersection, and proceed in the direction of the arrow when the way is clear. Yellow light or arrow. A yellow light or arrow are cautious warning that the light is about to change. If you have not entered the intersection, stop. Or if unsafe to stop, cautiously go through it. If you are already in the intersection, go through it cautiously. Do not speed up to beat the light. Dun dun dun. A flashing yellow light means slow down and proceed with caution. Flashing yellow lights are at locations with higher than normal hazardous conditions. So if you see a flashing yellow light, that means you have to slow down and proceed with caution. Flashing yellow arrow. At a flashing yellow arrow, you may turn in the direction of the arrow. If the way is clear, yield the right of way to vehicles coming from the other direction and pedestrians in an intersection. Be sure to check for less visible vehicles such as motorcycles, bicycles, and mopeds. If a traffic light creates from red to flashing yellow arrow while a pedestrian is in the intersection, allow the pedestrian to cross the street before turning. At a green light, you may go if the way is clear. At a green arrow, you may go in the direction of the arrow. If the way is clear, you are turning without a green arrow. You must yield the right of way to vehicles coming from the other direction and pedestrians in the intersection. Be sure to check for less visible vehicles such as motorcycles, bicycles, and mopeds. If a traffic light changes from red to green while a pedestrian is on the street, allow the pedestrian to cross the street before turning. Out of service signals. When traffic signals are not working because of a power outage or other problems not displayed any lights, you are required to stop, proceeding through the intersection as though it were a always stop. This does not apply if law enforcement officer or other authorized person is directing traffic at the intersection, or if a portable stop signs are in use. Lane use signals indicate lanes where you can and cannot drive during the different hours of the day. Red X. Never drive in a lane marked with a red X signal. Yellow X or yellow diagonal downward arrow. These signals mean that you should move out of the lane as soon as safely possible. Green arrow. You are permitted to drive in a lane marked with a green arrow signal. Left turn arrow. You are permitted to enter in a lane marked with a one-way or two-way arrow only to turn in the direction of the arrow. Pedestrian hybrid beacons. Pedestrian hybrid beacons appear over intersections without stoplights and alert drivers when pedestrians are at a crosswalk. One yellow light at the bottom flashes when the pedestrian activates the pedestrian hybrid beacon. Next, the yellow light turns solid red to alert drivers to prepare to stop. Then the top red lights on the pedestrian hybrid beacon turn solid while walk signal appears at the crosswalk and drivers must stop. Lastly, while the walk signal counts Down for the pedestrians, the PHBS, pedestrian highway beacons, to two red lights alternate flashing, telling drivers that if the crosswalk is now clear, they must proceed with caution. Traffic signals. The color and shape of traffic sign communicates important information about the sign's message. In poor visibility conditions such as heavy fog, you may be able to make out the shape of a sign. As you approach a sign, and while still distant, you may see the color long before you can read the message or see the symbol, giving you advanced information. Sign colors. Sign colors help you know what intention of the sign is. Red, used with white, convey stop, yield, do not, and no. Stop signs, yield signs, and do not enter or wrong way signs. The circle, sign, and slash is a no turn sign. And restriction in the parking sign are examples. Black, used with white, conveys regulatory information. Speed limit, do not pass, no turns, are examples where the operation is regulated by law and black and white signs would be found. Yellow used with black conveys a warning. Curve ahead, stop ahead, overhead clearances, slippery when wet are all examples. A specialized class of warning signs uses a strong yellow-green color with black to advise the school zone, pedestrian and other bicyclist activities. Green and white, blue and white, and brown and white signs are used to provide helpful information. The green sign is used to provide destination types of information, while the blue sign is used to inform regarding motorcyclist services. The brown sign is used to advise of historical or cultural interests that might exist in the area. Orange and black signs are used to advise and warn and construction and incident areas. There are usually black and white signs that convey regulatory that might exist only because of construction